Hello everybody, hey, it's Ken Faulkner. Sunday afternoon for me. Um, just hanging out with some of my EDC fixed blades. I got the second half. I did part one. I don't know how many parts it's going to be, so I didn't really say part this of this. But this is like the second half of the EDC. And when I say EDC, it's pretty much like workday carry type thing in the office. So they're a little smaller knives and they carry a little bit more concealed-ish, kind of not hanging down off the belt, uh, you know, and just keeping it low key. And so this is kind of where I've been buying a lot of my fixed blades lately. This is kind of what I've been liking, and it seems to be pretty popular with the community as well. You see a lot of videos on knives in this range. So let's get into it because we're still moving through the collection and we got to get through it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be done before Blade Show, and then we'll just kind of, once we get through Blade Show, kind of go back to a normal mode of operation. I think we'll see. Let's see. I got the Muskrat. The first half was a little bit more. I think it was under $50. This Muskrat is a little bit over that. It's pretty close, but I really like this knife. I kept seeing it all over the place. $57. Kept seeing it on a lot of channels, and it just looked so good. And then when I got it, I felt it, and it felt so good. Just the way it seems like it's got like a little bit of a cant down here, and the way the finger choil is and the thumb on it, it just feels like you really have a good control. I was doing that cutting video the other day with the Chavez boy. Yeah, that was kind of eye opening. I didn't expect it to go that way. I think it was mainly something where I kind of learned a lesson in that I clearly hadn't been paying attention to the sharpness of that knife prior to the test, and it clearly was not as sharp as I would normally like it to be. So we will be sharpening it up, and we'll get it back into that. But anyway, for cutting wise, this feels really good. Like you can push into the cut, you can get good slices if you need to. It is like a 3-finger, which is kind of where I'd go. I've mentioned this before. Lately, more of like a 3-finger. Now I can really, fourth one can get on there if I crowd it, but then a lot of times I will put that lanyard on, and it kind of gives me that feeling of, it's not going to fall out of my hand. I got something to hold on to. And those short blade, sub 3, I'm sure. Not measuring anything. This one looks like it needs a little cleanup. What's this blade steel on this guy? The Muskrat, 154. Yeah, you can see along the edge. I really kind of like, and if you just do a quick sharpening or even a stropping a lot of times on it, you'll clean that stuff up. Otherwise, it looks clean. Nice grinds on it. I really like the grinds. And that finger choil just feels really good. This little kind of bit of a, well, are we talking micarta? Yeah, it's micarta on there with the little pattern on it. Very nice, very nice. Small little one. This is like one of those ones where you kind of squeeze it and it doesn't feel like you can get your fingers all the way closed on the handle, but just the jimping up here and the finger choil, it's like almost you don't even need these other 3 fingers to hold on to it. That just kind of guides it, but this is the grip. This is the area where you're holding that knife, and that's what gives you that control. And the rest of this stuff just kind of helps you to guide it through a cut or whatever. It's got a nice Kydex sheath, the taco style, which is the one I prefer. It's got this type. I think I've heard the name of it before. It's interesting the way it kind of comes around. It's kind of like an S kind of shape to it, and it goes on your belt. So in this case, I'm usually carrying it on the right side towards the back, a little bit back behind the hip. And it just kind of sits in there, and as long as it's not too tall this way, you got, I'm usually going untucked with the shirt. You don't really see it too much. Even if it was tucked in, you still would be, it's a pretty small knife. So it doesn't show up too much. But yeah, and it does hold in there really well. It doesn't rattle, and it doesn't come out. So it does everything you need. And you got the thumb thing, which is really helpful. You really don't want to be struggling to get the knife out. Over time, it took me a little while once I started carrying these kinds to really learn how to get it back in the sheath. It's interesting when you first, at least for me it was, you're kind of going, where is it? Am I back here? Am I, and then you kind of get to the point where you find that little opened area here, and then you click it in and you're good to go. And I got pretty comfortable with it now. So that's a big help, because you don't want to like stab yourself when you're just trying to put it back in the sheath. Let's move on from that. Let's go here, Izula. This is a classic one. Essie. This was a funny one because it was from Blade Show Atlanta a couple years ago. And Blade Show is right around Father's Day, and the girlfriend always insists that the cat needs to get me a Father's Day gift. I think it's just because she just wants to support my knife habit, and it's a good excuse. I got this one, and yeah, I just wanted to get an Essie, and it's just like a really cool size. Not sure what the ant is. Is that has to do with the maker's mark or something like that, the designer mark? I'm sure somebody knows. This kind of ended up, because I bought scales for this, this was the skeletonized, didn't have anything in there. And I bought scales for them, but I decided to try the paracord wrap, and I fell in love with it. I mean, it's just really very cool. I mean, I got it nice and tight. I was worried that it was going to kind of move around a lot, but it's tight, and it's been on there ever since, and it's a couple of years now. It feels so good and comfortable. It's surprising how comfortable it is, and it's got a good little grip for it as well. I'm still coming off with the fourth finger a little bit, but you got this length of cord, and yeah, really nice, really nice. Sometimes it's good to have that cord for when you're pulling it out. This one is just a regular belt clip, but this will be on the right side, back behind the hip a little bit as well, and it does have the thumb, and it does lock in. This is not Kydex, but there's some rattle to it. So I know it's some kind of polymer or something like that. I think you might be able to rotate this. Actually, I don't think you can. I think the pattern on this is not a square. So I think you're stuck. You can either take off this and just drop it in a pocket, or you're stuck with this belt clip. But it works okay for me. I'm fine with it. So that's the Essie Izula. It's got a coating on it. A little rough pattern on there. Yeah, and I do like that paracord. It's the only one I have with a paracord wrap on it. It comes with a little thing that I didn't figure this out on my own. It had like a little piece of paper that showed you how to do it, but it was pretty darn easy. It was first try, and it worked out really, really well. I'm very happy with that. Let's go here, Stuffy P. I always like that one. I think I'll probably show this when I got the Gringo, because I was getting out all my Kung Wu knives. I bought this on the secondary. I didn't really know that Kung Wu had fixed blades. I don't really hunt down fixed blades. Fixed blades is more of a secondary thing for me. When I'm at the shows, I'll see them, so they'll be right in front of me. So I'm not really hunting them down, but there's so many cool fixed blade knives there that I like to check out. But when I see a little small one like this, it definitely catches my attention nowadays. And this one's really cool. It's got some kind of crazy steel. What is it? Stuffy P is the Venatus 8. Never heard of it before. But yeah, it's very comfortable. Feels really good in hand. It does have a place for a lanyard, but I don't really feel the need for a lanyard on this one because you got that forward finger choil, and it's just long enough so my fourth finger, all four fingers are landing on there with my finger in the. Now back here, yeah, I would need it, but it's pretty much not comfortable to carry. I think even with a lanyard, it wouldn't be so comfortable to carry or cut with it back here. But up here, you got that the jimping and the finger choil, and it feels really good. Nice tall blade. It's beautiful looking grinds on that. Just nice. I mean, Woo, they do a great job. Interesting screws that they have here. You got that flat head here and like a hex on this side. And you can see through them. It's got a hole in it. But it's kind of a cool little different kind of look. And then we got the taco sheath. It's got that same kind of clip on it. These four on the bottom kind of have that sitting in the belt, you know, like this type carry. Except for the Bradford, of course. If you're familiar with Bradford, this is the Guardian 3. And yeah, I'd heard so many good things about it. I had to try it out. Again, a Blade Show. I have to say Atlanta, maybe West. They tend to be around at all the shows. But anyway, yeah, nice little size. This is back before I was really buying this size knife, but I liked it. And it does have that appendix kind of carry, right? And so this is going to go in the belt. What I the way I usually carry these and the ones with the soft loops as well is I'll put my belt through it. It'll sit kind of to the excuse me, the right side of my belt buckle. So it's like on the right hand side of the belt buckle, kind of towards the front. So it's near the front right pocket. Really easy to find it and get it out of the pocket, the sheath. This is a leather sheath, so obviously there's not going to be any rattle, and it doesn't really have, the only retention is just from compression from being in the sheath. But a really nice sheath. I know Chris from Unprofessional Dad, check out his channel. He had a problem with this one. It's very tight, so you have to be careful. I usually will put it on the belt without the knife in there so that I have room in there, because it is tight to get a belt in there. And then I'll put the knife in, and then it works out pretty well. But so it's a little different carry. They mentioned at first that they do have a Kydex that I could have got with it and bought separately, but I decided to just go with it. I do like a leather sheath, actually. It's kind of old school. I kind of like a leather sheath, especially on larger knives. But for these smaller ones, Kydex seems to work better, really, you know, with that snap in and out. That's really nice. But this one comes in and out pretty easy. You can get a thumb on the sheath. Works well. And once you work it in, it's not so tough to get onto the belt. But still, and it's probably good. Keeps that retention there. It is still a little bit tight. Take out the knife, put the belt on, and then put the knife in. That is the worry with the leather, because the leather can stretch, and then you could get to the point where it's loose. But this has not had any issues with that. I don't think the tip's even down to the bottom of it yet. So that's the Bradford Guardian 3. M390 steel on that one. What did we have? We had 1095. I think it's great steel. I don't know. I might be biased from all my Forged and Fire watching days. All that stuff. And they do a lot of 1095. The Muskrat, I think, is 154, is it? I said it. Yeah, Muskrat is 154. And then there's that Venatus 8, which I have really very little. I mean, I can Google it, but that's about all. I haven't really heard of it on anything else. I don't know that much about it. Getting into the soft loops up here. This is that KC design that Kubi made. The Dust Devil. You know, he's always got those names that are like related to weather type stuff. This is a cool little knife. I mean, I know that he's very proud of it. No forward finger choil, but yeah, it works really well. Probably could use to have a lanyard on there. I probably should find one for that. But it does feel good. I don't have a problem with it. It's a tiny little knife, but it just feels good. I mean, usually these things are something that I'm getting out for like little small tasks, you know, cutting little things, opening up boxes or whatever, you know. You're not going to really do anything hard use with something at this size, but there's just so many things during the day that you could use this for. It does have the pancake sheath. I think that he wanted the taco, but this is what Kubi offered. It's got a nice little shape here that matches that micarta. and really makes it snap. I like that snap you can hear as it goes in. These soft loops, I buy these on Amazon. I think this one came in with a T-clip, tech lock. The smaller version of the tech lock. This is just too bulky. I mean, most people say that from what I hear. This one even has a little drain hole in it. It's very good, well thought out. I don't know if all these do. Yeah, drain hole. Yeah, it's pretty typical, I guess. Yeah, drain hole. Does the Izula have one? You would think the Essie, maybe through this little slot here. That hole, yeah, I guess you could neck it if you want to, put a paracord through it. That's probably just drains through that because it has like a little gap in there. So anyway, back to the Dust Devil. Really cool design. I think it's sold pretty well. I see a lot of it like on Instagram. You see people with you'll see a Dust Devil every once in a while. I usually get blue for Casey. He likes his blue, but that color looks really good. I like that color. So yeah, that's a really fun one to carry because it's just very small and it's not in the way. Even with the pancake, it's just so small that the blade is narrow this way. It's you got plenty of blade there, no problem. But yeah, it's just it's out of the way. You don't feel it when you're walking around or sitting or anything like that. You got that soft loop. You got a button here. I usually just put the belt through. I don't mess with the button, but you can unbutton it if you want. So this one's a fun one. I got this one at Blade Show, Texas. Really like this one, but it cut the heck out of my finger. Remember, I was having trouble with actuating. It looks like it's healed up pretty well. Actuating a shark lock because I was cutting in some box, and then the girlfriend that she made some comment while I was doing it, like, oh, I remember what it was because I was gonna do a unboxing, and you know how some of my unboxings are inside the cardboard box, some of them is just the box of the knife, and she's trying to say, well, for unboxing, aren't you supposed to just unbox it? And I got distracted, and I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I cut the heck out of my, and it wasn't very deep, and you can see it doesn't really have that much of a scar. That's great. But man, it must have hit like a nerve or something. It was just so sensitive for the longest time. But I think I'm back. I'm good. But this thing is a sharp little guy. Sharp, sharp, sharp. This was done by an interesting booth there. WF Forge Works. Turns out he was on Forge and Fire, and I'd actually seen, because I've seen it on all the shows. I really like it. But he was on Forge and Fire. We talked a little bit about that. He's got this thing, and it seems like all his knives are called Wonderut. I don't know, but this is just a little guy. It's got this great rock pattern. A little bit of a glow there. I could get out the. It's not like the strongest glow. Get out the blue light, but it is pretty cool. He showed me a picture of what his. Let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. What his drill press looked like after, maybe there you go. You can really see it in the blue light. It's very cool. The pins aren't, I thought, a lot of times they make the pins out of that same material, but the liners have that very cool glow. Really, really great under the blue light. So it's very nice. I mean, but even just holding it, and every time my finger gets close to that edge, it is just sharp. It's just really sharp. What's the steel on this? Is AEBL. Don't have a lot of AEBL. I hear about it quite a bit. It's good for fixed blades, but man, I don't know if it's just the way he sharpened it or the, it's more of a saber. It's not even quite a Scandi. Yeah, I guess you might be able to call it Scandi, but it looks more like a saber grind. But man, the geometry, maybe, he just got this thing just so sharp. The tip too is quite sharp. So I had to be a little more careful with this guy because I never want to get cut with it again. Not the way it got me that last time. Man, very cool sheath. The way it's got this piece that sticks up here and it snaps in so well. And you got a good place for the thumb and it pulls out really nice. Rock pattern gives you a great grip. I mean, it's just quality stuff. I mean, this is custom made, so, you know, but it was only $115, really good price for that, for a custom made one. Just nice. Really, really nice. I like it a lot. Snaps in so well. Definitely nothing going on here. So, I don't know if he makes his own kydex. I can't remember. We probably talked about it, but I don't remember. But yeah. So, soft loop on that one. I think it may have come with it. I'm not sure. Put this back here. I'm trying to keep them all in order. This was Blade Show this year. I think it's a newer company, the Voyager Blade Works. Some of the guys from what used to be CDC, Crispy Donut Community, were in with this group, and I've seen this around too. And this is a really good knife. They have like one with a blue that I've seen. This is like aluminum, I believe. Let me check it out. It's called the Outland Fixed Blade. Is aluminum handle with a nice pattern on it. You can see the pattern. Some nice screws in there, flathead or Torx option. Nice jimping all around. Feels really good in the hand. It's just a classic hollow grind, dual grind. Just a nice knife. It was pretty inexpensive if I remember, 95, so sub 100. Yeah, just nice, well made. It feels really good in the hand. It's a nice snap here on the sheath. It is pancake, but not too bulky. Yep. So I really like this one. It's very nice. I mean, it's just the right size, really. I mean, I can get 4 fingers on it. It does have a little hidden lanyard thing. That's kind of nice when they do the hidden like that. Who else had that? The Stuffy P has that as well. It's kind of nice because if you don't want a lanyard, then you don't really have to show off, you know, a lanyard hole. So it says USA right there, USA made, so that's cool. And D2, so it's not giving you a whole bunch. It's got the little symbol there that you can't even read. I remember when I got this, I forgot that the name of the company was. I really hadn't heard of them before. I just recognized the guy. I can't remember his name, but I recognized the guy from CDC there, and got talking to him, checking it out, and decided I needed to pick this guy up. So anyway, great knife. D2 steel I like, but it's clean. Maybe on the edge. Need to kind of strop it or something, and it'd probably be okay. Got a little Tonto thing going on. All right, next one is very cool because you know, I got into this little pass around that Gareth was doing. He had bought a knife from Aries EDC, and it was a Bloom, and so I got a chance to actually hold one of those in my hand, which was very cool. I would like to pick one up from him, but this is around the time that these Blooms from Kubi were coming out, and decided to pick one up and just to see what it really is all about. Again, with that kind of shape similar to the WK Forgeworks. Very nice design. Makes it easy to get in and out, and you know, so you got the thumb, but you also have an easy index for the sheath. And yeah, this one's great. Carries really well, taco style. Soft loop works great. I picked this one up. I can't remember who was it that I can't remember who I bought this from at Blade Show this year, but this is like a little handmade thing that I picked up, and I thought, man, that'll look really good on that Kubi. So yeah, nice. You know that that Aries usually has lanyards on his knives anyway, so it just seemed very fitting. So excellent knife. This is clearly, I think it must have come with a soft loop, because it's definitely different than these other ones here. All right, on to the Jack Wolf. You know Jack Wolf for his slip joints, but in the last couple of years, he has started making these ones he calls them fixed EDC. Fixed EDC. Started with this one first. That was the first one that came out, and it was Blade Show. Not this year, but last year. Had to go solo. Girlfriend couldn't make it. So I remember picking this one. I always go to Jack Wolf's booth. Always find something. This one has a very cool paper micarta. Look at the look of it. And that's like a chunk. Maybe not totally half, but it's up there in the percentage of what you're getting out of them is all those covers on his slip joints and the scales on his other knives. He's always got something great, and that was really, really cool. The little tiny guy. I mean, this might be one of the smallest ones out here. Yeah, it's a very, very small little guy, and it's definitely 3 fingers. It does have a spot for a lanyard. Just haven't put one on there. It's so small that the task, it seems like 3 fingers really work well for the task you're going to put this in. That sharpening choil is so functional, the way he does that, and he does that a lot on his slip joints as well. Yeah, it seems like a lot of these little fixed blades have these spots on their edge. Before I put these away, I'm going to just go through and strop them, see if I can get that all cleaned up. This is an ambidextrous sheath. Did have a little issue with it. You can kind of see a little spot right there. You got to be careful, and he did explain it to me, but even so, especially when it's like in the pocket, because you got this clip, it can go around a belt, but this is good for on a pocket. And man, the retention on this thing, you're going to put it on the pocket once, and then you can take the knife in and out. So you don't have to worry about it. But you have to be careful that you run this side of the spine of the knife up against the sheath here, so that the tip, as you do that, the tip goes to the center. That's what you want. If you're over too much, and this thing is such a wicked tip, it'll pierce right through that thing, and it did get it and cut a little bit of the cord. He said he would send me another one. I just haven't gone around to, now that I kind of got a handle on it, it's not really a problem. It's a little bit of a looks thing, but it's usually in the pocket, so you don't really see it, because this whole sheath is in the pocket. I mean, unfortunately, you can't really see the Wolf logo that way. But now that I got it down, it just doesn't really worry me. Maybe someday I'll get a new one for it, but we'll see. This is the other one. This is his first one. This was the Vampire fixed EDC, and the Vampire Jack was the first one I bought from him, and this is the first fixed blade that I got from him. Oh no, that's the Vampire. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Back it up. This is my editing. I'm just ignored that last little bit that I did. This one is the Midnight fixed EDC, and it makes sense because it's definitely not the Vampire, because the Vampire has that what do you call it? It's the same on both sides. Spear point. This one's a sheep's foot style, or a ram's foot maybe, because it does look like it does kind of flare out a little bit. So yeah, this one is the Midnight fixed EDC matched with the Midnight Jack. So very cool, very cool. All right, now we get to the Vampire. This was cool. Again, with the amazing covers. This has got that crystallized titanium, and this one did come with the lanyard on it, and I really like it. I really like that bead. It is also crystallized titanium. You can kind of see it. With the milling on here, you don't see that crystallized quite as much, but it is there for sure. But it's got that kind of that starburst look to it, and you can see the Vampire on this one. It's got the spear point. It is a single edge, but it does have that spear, almost dagger shape to it. Again, with the great sharpening choil. S90V on both these guys. Double check me and make sure I'm right on that. Yeah, both S90V. Yeah, I really like that gold with the that excellent titanium, crystallized titanium. I think this is the only knife I have with crystallized titanium. But very, very cool. Different sheath because of the fact, because this one is that ram's sheet foot sort of thing with the tip on one side. It's more of an issue here. With this one, it doesn't matter what goes on. Flip it over. The tip's right in the middle as you put it in, so there's no issue. So you got this nice flat bottom sheath. So definitely haven't had any problem with it. What's good to do is kind of figure out where your tip is and kind of let it form a little bit. So you kind of see right there around the bottom of the wolf is where it kind of expands out and catches this part. And so in that case, you're not going to push it down too far, and it kind of fits to the knife really well. Again, with the incredible retention. It's got a little clip there that once it's clipped in, you really have to pull it out in order to get it out of the pocket. It's not going to come out without you wanting it to. So that's the cool deal about that. So there's another Jack Wolf fixed blade. And that's it. Oh, good. We're at the 30-minute mark. That's a sweet spot for these collection videos. When I keep it down to around 10 knives, it ends up, even without me having to think about it too much, we end up right around 30 minutes. And yeah, so that's it for my... So after this, we got like some weekend carry stuff that are more hanging from the belt type things. And then into some of the bigger stuff that are more like a camping type carry rather than around the town type carry. I mean, obviously, in California, the laws are that if you got it hanging from the belt, you can carry any length of knife. So I could have a big old monster Bowie knife and walk it around town. But, people just aren't used to that. I mean, we don't have constitutional carry. We don't have a lot of people carrying knives. It's always a nice surprise when you find somebody that carries a knife. It's just very rare. So, yeah, that's a reality here in California. I do plan on moving somewhere a little more rural. I've been in the city all my life here in Southern California, pretty much. And I love the beach and all that. The weather's amazing, but yeah, I'm ready to get out into the forest, get out by some trees. Now we can go to the mountains here. We can go from the beach and surf in the morning, and then go up to the mountains and ski in the afternoon. That's the big thing they always talk about. I've never actually done that, but I have done both skiing and surfing. Well, not much surfing. More skateboarding, but not much surfing. But go to the beach, bodyboard, the boogie boards and all that good stuff. Anyway, so, I probably miss some of the good things about California, but I'm ready for a change. But I still got to retire from work, so that's a few more years. Anyway, that's all that rambling that I feel like I have to do at the end of the video for some reason. So those people that were just here for the knives, hopefully they're already gone anyway. So enough talking. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.